So normally you'd be seeing me here in this half of my shop where I have the streaming set up. This is the secondary area, and I mean, it's super raw right now. This is a very nice custom built building, but it is just frames and electrical, and there's a nice garage door over here, see? So it's easy to get stuff in and out of here, but there's no insulation, and we're coming into the wintertime here. And so I really need to get this room insulated, get the walls finished out, make it look cool, because right now it doesn't look very cool behind me. And I need to get the Neo Geo set up. I need to get the bunk beds set up. You see that? How are my friends supposed to come over and spend the night if I don't have my bunk beds ready? That all needs to be done. We're going to get started today. Let's just roll through and see how this works out. Well, let's look at another viewpoint of this portion of the shop. This is the garage door entrance, and through that window right there is the back end of the PC soldering station, workstation room. And over here is our unfinished room, and it's pretty large. I don't know the exact size of it off the top of my head. There's a window right there. And then there's attic space above this also. So all this needs to be finished. You see up there, there's the attic space. A portion of this building has been insulated on this wall. This was insulated this way when I got here. And it's really just to keep this other room insulated so that the temperature's nice in here. I can do heat and air, and it's nice and comfortable in this room. But over in here, it can get very cold or very hot depending on the temperature outside. So that's what we're doing today. I'm waiting for my work crew to show up, but first I need to clean up some stuff. Now you can see I've moved my items out here, and been in here getting stuff ready to get a little bit of electrical work done. There's all kinds of hooks like this, and unfortunately all this stuff is nailed into the wall, so I've had to use good old granddad's hammer here and pry these suckers out, pry these bars out. It's been fun.
Right. Yeah, it's two here and one here.
And I might have hit this.
I don't know, your angle should be that. But that
But
one,
yeah, it
that
should
one
be
would
in
only
this
come
way.
until about right there.
Yeah.
So it should be clear, but you're gonna have to have like a piece of wire and piece of wire and feed the other wire and pull it around that corner.
Did you have, Steve, did you have any?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just something to pull it through, fish it through.
Yeah, we'll have to figure to see it right there.
It's like the old carnival.
That's me. So
Who's that texting me?
that's me.
That's you texting me.
So
Right
There
now.
you go.
So
I
there I
see
am.
something.
But
We just tape the rest of it to itself,
well,
so
tape,
oh, I see
we
what
might be
you're
able
saying.
to pull that.
Pull that through, but we'll need to tape it to this really good and twist. Kind of, we probably just ought to twist it all around it, right? Like pretty hard. You
I
think?
think because we drilled it out so far, it actually should be a fairly gentle pull. Just gonna open it. Let's try this.
Oh, look at that.
bingo.
It fed through.
Yeah.
All right, so day one is kind of through. We got the electrical work redone. We did a little bit of rewiring in the room. And then we got things ready, planned out for starting insulation.
She's the one that signs up for all that stuff. I feel so sorry for her.
I know. Can't protect yourself from yourself, right?
That's right.
So I'm installing insulation, and we're doing that in the ceiling. And the way I'm doing it, we're sticking the pieces up in here, holding them up, and we're actually stapling them or nailing them in stapling them in up here on the inside of the 2x4 frames there. That way it'll hold up nicer and won't want to sag as much. We also had some framing put in today. This is what the roof panels are going to attach to. It's going to be tricky getting them around some here. And then we're bracing for, again, a piece to come in here because it can't go right up against the garage door opener. And then in this section, we're actually going to leave a void and not add stairs because that's going to add too much cost. That's literally double the budget almost if we add a nice set of stairs in there. So we're going to do something else for that section. But right now, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start doing some myself after I get geared up because I don't want to not wear the right PPE and install this stuff.
Now, this is my first experience installing insulation. Oh, hey, there's a nice appearance of Steve's beer belly. Good job, Steve. Anyway, it wasn't too bad of a process. I should have been wearing glasses, but I just used the brim of my hat to keep the fiberglass out of my eyes. All right, so I've finished up with insulating most of this ceiling, and really the next step is going to be to install ceiling panels. And I want to show you how we cut around the light fixtures and the garage door to install a piece of this OSB ceiling. All right, just say it with me now. Teamwork gets the job done. It's certainly a lot easier to do things when you have help. And that was probably the best part of this entire experience, was learning new things from my dad and his best friend. And they were nice enough to come over and put in a lot of labor for free into this project. So I was eager to allow them to do it and try to learn what I could from their experience and techniques of doing this kind of stuff.
There's another one. Everything else is shorter than. So we're pretty good. But I don't want to use that 53. I think that piece up there is more narrow, but it's 53 inches long. We'd make it all in one piece.
Yeah, that would be good.
I don't want to forget it. All right, this one's 80 and a quarter. 80 and a quarter. You say that? All right. Better.
I'll let you go ahead and do that one first.
Okay.
And I'll pull this out.
I was going to say, what's it?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What's that table right under you?
Just get this through.
Do you want to go in there? There you go.
up in your corner.
I don't know what's better, the 1 minute video of us putting it up right or the 10-minute video of us doing it wrong.
Can you rework it?
That's it. You gotta come up with a snappy acronym for that.
Yeah. I'm here working in the new shop area. I've actually got everything finished out as far as walls, ceilings, and the trim is all pretty much done. I just need to get in here and paint, which is what I've been working on. And painting this stuff has been crazy. I mean, it just soaks up the paint, so it's taken a lot more than I anticipated. And it took me a lot more time, too, to paint all the way around all those fittings for the garage door. It took a little extra. And so the whole ceiling up there, one coat took me, wow, a whole 8 hours and an entire, gallon of paint, one of the whole jugs. It took all of it. Woo-wee, check it out now in here. Look at it. It is so much brighter. So much brighter. Look at all the painted room. The entire painted room. Now what I've done so far is I've used 3 gallons of primer, really good primer, and painted this room. Now I'm going to put it on a couple coats of regular paint. But I think the primer is really going to help this with this wood. Help the paint stick and look better. So I just got to get the room painted 2 more times.
This whole project took a lot more paint than I originally thought it would. This is the difference between what that primer or single coat of paint looks like compared to adding a second coat over it. So it makes a huge difference on the way the wall looks.
Well, we're in here for the first time with completely painted ceilings and walls. And I want to test the acoustics of this big empty space and see just how much echo I get. There's supposed to be a lot of benefits to using this type of material that I did for building this room in this studio, and hopefully that will help out on the audio. We'll see if it sounds bad in this test run. We'll see how it sounds afterwards when I add some more items in here to give it less of probably an open echo feel. But what I'm about to start on is actually the flooring. Let me show you. The flooring is essentially the same material, just boards. It looks really bad right now because I've let paint splatter on it, and there's a lot of imperfections and grease and who knows what that was here since the beginning of time. And I'm actually going to just repaint all this. It's about 200 square feet, a little bit less. We're going to paint all this with a blue fresh coat of floor paint with a texture on it.
This type of wood that I'm using on the walls and ceiling and even the floors is actually quite flammable. You can see it right here. It's burning up really without much help from anything else. So I'm going to try to put this paint over top of that to help, eliminate a lot of that fire risk in these walls.
All right, well, are you ready to finally see the new space? Let's just go right in here and I'm going to show you the new addition to the Retro Tech shop. We're going in through the door here. And wow, this is going to be a lot different. Yeah, look, I didn't even make the bed that I slept in last night. I did a test sleepover in here, and it's amazing. The insulation worked perfectly, and so did the walls. And I got all my stuff here. Let's see where we left off. I was talking about the shop floor, and over here is a great example of what that floor originally looked like in the other half of the office or shop that's been finished. Well, here's what it looked like after I picked my blue out and put a fresh coat of that textured paint on there. Like you can see some little coal hairs in here. Anyway, that's been painted and it came out wonderfully. Like that paint the fresh coat only took 1 gallon, and I got the whole floor done. And then I went and I added an amazing oversized rug here, which has a bunch of dirt in it. And then I have to vacuum it a lot, but at least it stays in the rug. And this is a huge rug. You can see it's the size of the room. I've got CRTs set up. And I mean, the shop's been working great. Look at this stuff. I've got, of course, the Olympus back in here. I set up this new entertainment center, and I've got a pretty complex power conditioner right here with a bunch of outlets ready for me to go. And then I've been enjoying this amazing Samsung. That's the flat screen CRT right there. Let me add a little more light, see if that helps. So this is a slim fit Samsung, and I've got a lot of cool consumer sets in here. There's the old Sony from the 1970s. Isn't that awesome? And then over here we have a Sony that's, well, 30 years newer than that one, but still 20 years old. This is a KV27HS420. It's in here for servicing. And you can see I've got a lot more space in here now, right? So this was the wall. Garage door still looks good, but look, all the paint came out great. I did swap the light fixtures for these. These can be changed color temperature wise. I went with the higher bluer, cooler temperature, and it bounces nicely off the walls. I think the acoustics are much better after I added this rug and added, obviously, some shelving up here with some really cool stuff to have sound bounce off of. But this is much easier for me to work from. I have this amazing shelf, which actually needed some modification because it was a much larger shelf than would fit in here. It was donated, and it's perfect for storing old media like this. And so I was lucky enough to have the work crew come over and help me out with customizing this shelf. I'll show you a little footage of the getting the boys back together for another project. All right, we completed this shelf. Obviously, that was a lot of fun. We had to nail the board here after we cut it down a little bit on the size. But it's working great. Everything up here looks awesome, too. I'm really loving the setup. I love the fact that I got the bunk beds here. I've still got some more shelves I want to put up on the wall. And then the bunk beds, like I said, nice and comfy. For now, I've been using this radiator heater, and man, it'll burn this room up. It was below freezing last night, so it keeps you warm in here, and that's what I really wanted. Everything else in here has been just an amazing project. I don't know that there's much else I need to show you right now. I mean, now I can roll things out on these carts if I need to. Everything's on wheels. Everything's on wheels in here just about, except the bunk bed. All right, so this new shop is here, and it's great. And I really just, I'm going to tell you the truth. I had an awesome time working on this project and getting to work with my dad and his best friend. I can't thank them enough for helping me with this. But, a lot of those things that you saw us doing, I kind of joked on there. We had to do it multiple times, like putting up the walls and then putting up the ceiling. Like we would have to go up, put the panel up, and then pull it back down because maybe we didn't cut wide enough on a cut for a utility outlet. And I mean, you can see the structure of the garage door is still functional and sealed, and it's perfect. pretty much put right in between the wall and ceiling panels, so it's not conflicting in any way. So I mean, it did take a little bit of time for this project, right? Measuring all that out, and the painting took a lot of time. Above me, you see the opening to the ceiling access. Right in it now is just a piece of flat insulation, and I get up there with a ladder. I have a lot of storage room in the building now above this whole building. And so this has just been a great opportunity for me to expand the size of this shop, have a space that I can actually work in when it's cool outside or hot outside, and more room to work on larger CRTs. Because right now in this room, I have two very large CRTs that are 27 inches. So that's great. That gives me more space to bring them in here, safely test them, safely work on them. And anyway, I just think it's a great win situation. And again, working with my dad and his friend, it was great to see them, you know, listen to them tell their old stories and kind of be funny at their own little way. And also, again, just learning the skills that you don't really get to see nowadays, and working on things like basically building out a house. That was what we started on or embarked on. I mean, it is a shop, but essentially it's a miniature house out here now, almost. No water, but besides that, everything's great. Anyway, look, this is an awesome place now to come and have your CRT serviced. Those of you that are on Patreon have already been enjoying this feature, but the only way you can get your CRT worked on is to be a Patreon member, and that's how you get it to end up in this lovely spa building, I guess you would say, or whatever you want to call it. I have been still stuck with the name the CRT Bunker, so I love to call this now the Complete Bunker again. And anyway, if you're interested in the Patreon, there's more information in the description of this video. You can go there, check it out, and DM me directly, and we can get you scheduled for some kind of service work to your CRT. The next thing you're going to be seeing me work on in this shop is going to be this machine right here. I actually did get to work on my Neo Geo. I got it working, but man, I couldn't believe it. The tube actually had some problems, and so did the circuit board, so I think you're going to enjoy that repair and restoration, and I also did some upgrades to it, so I'm looking forward to showing you that next time. Thanks again for watching today, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit a like button, and I'll see you all next time with some more retro content.